continue working. Okay, hi. Sorry about that. Hi, great, Regina. Yeah, listen to your body, take breaks if you need to. Happy Easter, Angel. Hi, Sandra. How is everybody today? Is there anything going on with anybody's bodies that I should know about? If there is, feel free to type it in the box and I'll read it. As usual, don't do anything that feels bad for your body. Listen to it. So hello, hi from Studio Blue. I'm Audra. We're gonna be doing our Sculpt Pilates class, which is where we take a lot of the concepts of Pilates and use functional movements and really feel kind of a burn in some of our muscles. You do need some weights. I use that term loosely. You can use soup cans, you can use bottles of wine, you can use dish detergent. Whatever you have around is great. Also, straight up, you don't even need weights. You can just squeeze your muscles if you want to. That's fine. And once again, listen to your body. We're gonna get started standing. Let me close this out real quickly. Great. And we're just gonna do a couple roll downs. So nod your chin, hollow out through the front of your body and roll it on down. One bone at a time, as if you're peeling your spine off of an imaginary wall, and just kind of feel where you have a little tension, and bend one knee and then allow the other knee to switch. Just back and forth a couple times. I'm gonna come closer to you. You guys keep going. There we go. My cord was caught. So just back and forth. And then soften your knees, scoop, and start to roll on up, stacking your spine one bone at a time. And then roll it on down. So when we stack our spine one bone at a time, of course it doesn't have to be stick straight because most spines are not made like that. However, scoop and roll, think about the placement of your pelvis, and then your rib cage should sit right on top of it. So your ribs and hip bones should be about in line, right? So here, not in line, here, not in line. Last one, we're gonna roll it on down. Feel free to bend a knee. And then the other side. And then walk it on out into a quadruped position. So hands underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips, sink your breastbone down, and then press and lift. Think about kind of opening a pickle jar here, and then sink it down, and then press and lift. See if you can find that arm to ab connection, right? We're not letting our tailbone jet up. We're keeping a nice neutral spine, and we hold. Slide one foot away from you, keeping equal contact in your hands. And then you can squeeze that glute, maybe the foot starts to lift, and then bring it in. Try to keep equal weight in your hands as you slide that other foot away, and then squeeze, pushing as if you were pushing from your ribs, right? And reach. We're just trying to find a little stability here. Get all those deep core stabilizers working, as well as those glutes. Give me a couple more. Think about a laser beam from your leg all the way to your foot. It initiates at your ribs. And of course, if you want, you can start adding that reach of your hand and back, reach of your other hand. Still maintain that connection, your other hand and your abs. Last one. If you need a break, of course, take one. Otherwise, think about hugging your abs up first to dial your hip bones back. Tailbone kind of aims down. Just press, initiating your Halloween cat from your abs and your lumbar spine, and then come back to neutral. Let's try that again. Press, connect in with those abdominals to allow the tailbone to drip down and back. Last one like this. Tailbone is kind of like Salvador Dali's clock, and then we come back. Now tuck your toes under if you're ready for it. Press, squeeze your buns to help hover your knees off the ground, and then back. Let's do a couple more. And when you come back, yes, you can lengthen through the crown of your head, but try not to allow your hip bones to dive down. And we curl and tap. Last one, we curl, tap. Now curl just from your lower back. Think about that suction cup, and then hover, slide one foot out, other foot. Hold your plank. If you need to, you can always come onto your forearms. Now exhale, fold one knee underneath you, reach it back, other side, and back. Allowing that thigh bone to fold at the hip joint rather than allowing the spine to create that movement. One long line from the crown of your head to your tailbone, and another long line from your tailbone to your feet. Two more. Last one, knees down. Press yourself into a rest position. Feel free to roll out your wrists. Hands up and over to one side. Reach that hand a little bit farther. Opposite hand can grasp that wrist and then pull out just a little bit. And then we get to do the other side. Up and over, pull and reach. Come back to center. All right, so now, keeping that nice neutral spine, if you start feeling your back brace, use your abs a little bit more aggressively. We're just going to press into the floor, squeeze the glutes, hover here. So now instead of using that spinal flexion to find abdominal connection, we're trying to find it in neutral. One more, and we hold it up. Hold. Now we rotate to one side. That's it. Try not to sink into the shoulder. And back. Rotate to the other side. And back. And we rotate just the hip bones. And then if you like, rotate, make sure you're pressing up. You can lift that hand and then come back. Rotate, keep pressing away from the hand, and then you can hug the other one up, right? So it's not letting your shoulder come up to your ear. You're not sinking into it. You're pushing the floor away to access that serratus oblique connection. Now, if you want a little bit more excitement, I'm sliding. You can bring the other leg through and then back. Rotate, bring the other leg through. Do you have to do that? Nope. Can you if you want? Of course. One more each side. Hopefully you're starting to warm up. And then knees down. Press yourself into a little rest position, rolling out your wrists. Good. We're gonna come all the way to standing. Feel free to come through your plank into your downward dog, pushing the floor away from you to wrap your shoulder blades around your ribs, and then walk your feet towards your hands or hands toward your feet. Soften your knees, scoop, rolling it on up, one bone at a time. All right, we're gonna do a couple different squats here. This is kind of an assessment. We're just going to bend at the hips, knees, and ankles, keeping everything squeezed together, and just see how far you can go before you really have to start moving just from your torso, right? And notice where you feel any restriction. For me, I feel tension here, and it's because I'm restricted here. So it's okay when you get deeper into that squat to allow the knees to come forward. We just don't want to initiate from there. Still letting the tailbone go down and back, as if you're sitting in a chair that's being slowly pulled out from behind you. Last one, we're gonna hold this one down. Hold it down. Squeeze your cheeks to lift up half an inch. Sink it down, hold. Think about your glutes catching you here. And then they're gonna push you up half an inch, and then they're gonna catch you. And half an inch, and catch. Don't forget your abs. If you are letting your tailbone stick out, and you're feeling those erectors, really try to help. Stand up, reconnect, right? So you've got that nice neutral pelvis, neutral rib cage, and then they're moving together. We have 3 more. And 2, hold. Now come up just an inch, stabilizing on that one side. Pick a side, doesn't matter which one. Don't let the knee collapse in. You're squeezing your glute, you're lifting your foot. Tap the other foot out and fold. Push and fold. Just kind of see where you are today, right? Reach it behind you. As you reach it behind, squeeze the glute. Much like when we were on hands and knees, it's not about just taking the foot behind. It's about finding that connection throughout your whole body, right? So if you think of a little seatbelt clicking here, and then that foot pushes from the ribs, from the glute. We have 4 more. And 3, feel free to hold your hands wherever is comfortable. 2, last 1, hold it there. Push, push, push that foot away. Hinge forward. And then hinge back up. And push the foot away as you hinge, trying to keep your toes and your ears moving in one long line, like a teeter-totter. Now, if that doesn't work for you, that's okay, tap the foot down. No problem. You are still allowing the crown of your head and your tailbone to move in one piece, right? If you're like, okay, well, I can sort of do it, but I'd like a little support, just pick your foot up and feel free to tap it down whenever you need to, right? We have a couple more. 4, and always, 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 feel free to hold on to something. Countertop, chair, whatever feels good for you is fine by me. Last one, hold it down. Now just squeeze the glute, tiny squeeze. Boom, boom, boom. Find your abs to support your back, right? So we're not letting the leg move because the spine is moving. We're allowing the leg to move because that glute is telling it to. We have 5, and 4, and 3. How's that stabilizing leg feeling? So good, right? 2, last 1, bring it up, feet together, other side, so sink it on down. Hug your lower abs up and in, and then we tap. Now, when we breathe, I don't want you to try to contract everything on your inhale. Our body is supposed to move, right? So when we inhale, I'm going to turn to the side, our diaphragm lowers to make space in our thoracic cavity for our lungs. That can still keep intra-abdominal pressure, which is what helps protect our spine. So when you breathe in, imagine that transverse abdominis just engaging in a different way. So instead of engaging in, it engages out. So think about your ribs expanding, your back expanding, allowing your whole back to stabilize you. And then when you exhale, draw everything together. Hip bones, lower abdominals, ribs. We have 2 more. Last one, hold. Once again, think of one long line from the crown of your head to your foot, and we hinge and up, or we hinge and up, or we hinge and up. Whatever feels good for you today is what I want you to do, right? Because you live in your body. I don't. And push. So challenge yourself. Yes, discomfort, like muscular discomfort, like, oh, my buns are burning. Fine. Pain? No. I want you to always say no thank you to pain and do what feels good. We have a couple more here. I almost lost my balance. Don't judge me. 3, 2, last one. We're gonna hold it and then squeeze that booty, right? So this teeter-totter, right, is from the crown of your head to your foot. This teeter-totter is from the glute to the foot. So the glute engages, thigh bone moves, which creates that lift effect of the foot. For 4, and 3, and 2. Last one, bring it up. Nice job. Now, we're going to build on some stuff that we practice. We're gonna sink it down, hold it there. Lift one foot, lift all the way up. Squeeze that cheek, lift the kneecap up the leg. Start there, step that foot down, sink it down, 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 other side. And then lift all the way up. Step it down, sink, this side, boom. And then all the way up. Once again, if your balance is wobbly, not the end of the world. Hold on to something. Sometimes for me, if I just pretend I'm holding on to something, it goes a lot better. So if you notice, smooth on the way down, as soon as you take that leg away, that knee wants to rotate in or your foot wants to wobble. Think about that glute and inner thigh helps stabilize where that knee is. And then think about the arch of your foot activating, but keep your big toe mound down. So a lot of times we do like single leg lunges or squats in life, just trying to do moves to pick something up. And we are trying to stabilize on the eccentric and then use extra work on the concentric. So now if that feels good, stick with that. Otherwise, now we're going to sink it down, step, lift back up. Other side, sink it down, step, bring it back up. So now we're working eccentrically a little bit harder. And you might notice that keeping that knee tracking, keeping that placement of your torso is a little bit trickier. That's okay. Make sure you're not feeling any knee pain here. Couple more, if you need to. Like, I don't know what you guys have around. A small, still child. I got nothing. Last one, each side. So sink it down, step, bring it up. Last one, take it down, step, bring it up. Sink down into your little baby half squat. So now you know what it feels like to stabilize through a bunch of different ranges. We're just gonna tap and bring it in, tap. Good. This might be where you are, little tap. If you want, push through imaginary mud, quicksand, pudding, whatever your imagination prefers. You can also think of kind of scraping your shoe off, scraping mud off your shoe. Think about really reaching the foot away from you rather than up, right? We have 4. Trying to stabilize here. 3, 2, last one, hold it out. Tiny squeezes. Think about that thigh bone moving in the socket rather than hiking the hip up. We have 5 and 4. You are champions. 3, 2, last one. Bring it all the way up, bending this knee. Now we're gonna let the pelvis move. So we sink the hip that's attached to that bent knee down, squeeze this glute to bring the hips up, and then think about lifting, hiking that hip from your obliques and your QL, come back down. Sink it down like somebody's about to take your picture looking real cute, and then squeeze that glute, finding your abs, and then lift higher. Come back to center, sink it down. Focusing here, inner thigh on that leg. Couple more. Boom. And down. If you'd like more challenge, you can stand on a yoga block here and get yourself a little extra balance work. 2, last 1, hold, squeeze a little harder, hold, 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 and other side, sink it down. And we start with our tap, right? And reach, and hold, and tap, and out. Right. So once again, that hip starts rotating or you start sinking, find center, right? It's the same muscles we had to find for all those other moves. Of course, if you want, push, reaching through that heel. Think of elongating. Now you might notice, I'm trying to shift through my ribs. Don't do what I did. Do as I say, not as I do, right? We hug those abs up and in. We try to stabilize through our pelvis, our spine, our rib cage, as we move the leg. Have a couple more. 4, and 3, and 2. Hold it out. Tiny little squeezes. Once again, trying not to lean, which is easier said than done, I know. So if you think about your quadruped position, right? When we move our legs through space, we're trying to stabilize. Same thing, different angle. 4, 3, 2, 1, bring it all the way up, bend that knee, find center. Now sink into that hip, now squeeze that glute, hold, now lift, hiking through that oblique, that QL, and then back to center. Sink it down. You can also think about that VMO, vastus medialis oblique. There will not be a quiz. It's your inner quadricep, right? So quadricep, obviously there are 4. It is the one that's more towards the center line. And often this outer one gets really tight and creates an environment where the inner one can't activate as aggressively. So I want you to think about that kneecap sliding up your leg because that inner quad is helping. Last 2, last 1. We're gonna hold, hike a little higher, squeeze for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Step it down. We're coming back into a plank. Roll all the way down. Walk your hands away from your feet. You can always, always, always come onto your knees or your forearms. With this one, I recommend hands closer together, feet farther apart. Lift one hand, place it across. Boom. So as you do this, if there's a huge rotation through your hips and pelvis, come down to knees or even quadruped, right? We're trying to find stability through the shoulders, through the ribs, through the pelvis. Squeeze your glutes. Imagine a suction cup on your lower back. If you're on your knees, it will look more like this, not your knees, your elbows, the knees of your arms, right? 2, last 1, each side, knees down, rest position. Roll it on out. We're all gonna come onto our forearms this time. Keeping that wider stance, and we rotate onto one side. Now, think about lifting up out of that armpit, lifting up from that rib cage, squeezing that bottom glute to help lift you. Top inner thigh, boom. And then we can rotate back down. So armpit, ribs, glute, inner thigh, and back down. Now, if you're like, no, thank you, I'd really like to be on my knee, that's okay. It's the same work. It's just a little less intense. If you're like, oh, I really prefer it on my hands, can I do that? Yeah, 100%. 100% yes. Even if you want to be up here on your hands, whatever works best for you. Try to keep your ribs and hips moving in one piece. Try not to let them flare, so keep your hands right in line with your shoulders. Knit those ribs in and down. And last 1, each side. Come on, onto your knees. Press yourselves back, rolling out your wrists. And we're coming back to standing. Last time for a while, I promise. So go ahead, come into the plank. Press yourself into your downward dog, pushing the floor away from you. Walk your feet towards your hands or your hands towards your feet. Soften your knees, roll it on up. Grab your weights or soup cans. All right, now, shoulder blades draw down your back, right? Let them relax. You can keep your arms here if you need to. Now, we're just gonna do a little combo move. Hip hinge, tap, come on up, right? So we already did our hip hinges and we already did scooter. So now it's just a high lunge, right? It's a hip hinge tap. I'll show it from the side. Hip hinge tap. Now, if this is where you are, great. If you'd like, make sure you're not on a tightrope. You're going to come into your lunge and then tap. Or full lunge, lift, squeeze, hold. Now feel free, hold, tricep kick back, bring it up, hold. Take it down, tricep kick back, bring it up, hold. Now with our tricep kick back, I don't want you so much to try to get the hands behind you, right? We're not trying to go into shoulder extension. We're trying to straighten the arms, squeeze back near where our elbows are, widen through the collarbones. And down, tricep kick back. Give me just a few more here. 4, 3, press. 2 more. Last one. Hold. Tiny little presses back as well as up and down. Now, we're about to do a lunge on a different plane, okay? So this is sagittal plane. We're gonna go transverse. I'm gonna show a modified version of it first, okay? 3, 2, come on up. Now, you can be here. Notice how my knee is still tracking over my toe. It's not collapsing in. Okay, so this is fine. Otherwise, here, bring it in. Now this time, we're gonna do a little bicep curl, press. Bring it in, down. Good. A little bicep curl, and press, down. Rotate, squeeze that glute. Make sure that those abs are active. Boom, press. Now, as you take your arms overhead, think less about lifting and more about your shoulder blades drawing down and around. Shoulders stay as relaxed as possible, which I know, easier said than done. 2 more. Last one, like this. Oh, guess what? Yeah, we're gonna hold it. And tiny little ones. If you need to bring yourself forward so your shoulders are more over your knee, it's fine. Little tricep kickbacks. Boom, boom, boom. Shoulders down, 5. Whew. Anybody else starting to sweat a little bit? Or is it just really warm in here? 3, 2, 1. Bring it together. Bend forward, shoulders down, palms up. Keep your elbows gently hugging in. Rotate and back. So if your elbow is on a lazy Susan, you're gonna get pure rotation as opposed to retraction, right? So little lazy Susan, think about shoulder blades, posterior shoulder muscles. 3 more. And 2. Last 1. Hold, hold, tiny little ones. Boom, boom. Feel where those shoulders are. 5, 4. Feel where your elbows are. 3, 2, 1. Other side. So once again, combo move, right? No problem. This can absolutely be where you are. Otherwise, you can go into your lunge and tap, making sure that the knee is not collapsing in. Try not to let the foot totally rotate out either. However, if your foot has to rotate out 0.5 millimeter, I'd rather do that than put pressure on your knee, right? Now you can tricep kickback and hold. Step it down. Tricep kickback and up. Take it down, press it back, widening through your collarbones, making sure that the arch is connected. So if your arch tends to collapse in, right, like this, think about the big toe gently pressing into your mat. A few more here. 4. Press. Think about those knuckles lengthening down as you press back. 3. Press down and back. 2. We're almost there. Last 1. Hold it. Tiny little up and down with the press. Boom, boom. If you're feeling a lot of tension here, pitch forward a little. Find the glute. 5, 4, 3, you're amazing. Heart of a champion. 2, 1, bring it up. Now once again, this is perfectly reasonable. Everybody try it. Making sure that knee is lined up with the foot, right? You're still hinging forward, still keeping work in that glute. Now if you want, down, right? No problem. Then we can add on. Bicep, push, keep that rib cage connection. Think about those abs. And up and down, right? Pay attention to where your pelvis is tracking. You're almost there. And by there, I mean to some other delightful destination. When you stand, don't just allow the knee to hyperextend. We want to lift, squeeze, boom. Yes. 3. Lifting my kneecap up the leg. 2. Last one. Hold it down. We get more triceps. The little squeezes as we pulse. Think about more of a lift and lower. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Feet together. Now, soften your knees. Hands come together. Push your arms overhead, shoulders down. Now, if you're here, let the elbows come forward. Just bend, reach through your knuckles. Squeeze those triceps. Good. Bend, reach up. Shoulders draw down. We only have a few more. 5, 4, 3 more. 2. Last 1. Nice job. Come on down onto your back, knees bent, feet flat. Have your weights near you. Now go ahead, feel where your ribs and pelvis are. And if you're like, ooh, I was putting some tension in my hip flexors somehow, or low back, take your hands, top of your thighs, press into them, create a little bit of traction through your lower back. Now I want you to find neutral pelvis, where your pubic bone and hip bones are on the same plane, so we're not anteriorly tilting and we're not imprinting, right? So first, just think about your hip bones. Your bones can actually move. So put your hands upon your hips. And now exhale, think about your hip bones drawing away from your hands. Hopefully you just found a little bit of deep abdominal engagement. Now breathe low. Now exhale, hip bones, and then imagine a hook below your belly button drawing in and up. Try to keep your pelvis still. And we inhale. Now exhale, hip bones hook, press your sacrum right down into your mat. So hopefully you've just found a whole lot of low ab engagement without your tailbone getting heavy or your lower back smashing down. 2 more like this. Hip bones, hook, sacrum, relaxing through your neck and shoulders, right? So you don't have to go at 100, just enough to feel that abdominal engagement. Last one like this. Now, next time you're gonna find that work, and now with intention, imprint your spine. Hip bones, hook, sacrum, pull your hip bones toward your face, lengthening your lower back. You can even use your hands to help you here. Now your lower back is down. Hopefully your ribs did not pop. They are also down. Now rock your sacrum back to center, right? There might be a tiny little lift of your lower back. If not, it's okay. Couple more. So engage, rock. So envision your pelvis like a plate with a marble on the center. Roll the marble toward your face. Roll the marble away from your face. 2 more. Toward your face, lengthening through the front of your body. Back. Last one. Now, let your pelvis be in neutral for as long as possible. Interlace your hands behind your head. Elbows come slightly forward, externally rotating through your arm bone so your serratus can help. Shoulders down. Sink your ribs down to the floor, coming into your first chest lift. Pelvis in neutral, if you can help it. But your lower back probably moved. That's good. Lengthen all the way back down. Let's go again, shall we? Soften the ribs, find those abs first, and then lift. And then back down. So just a reminder, this is our leverage point, right? So if we're a teeter-totter, we're moving from our ribs, not our neck. This is what it would look like moving from the neck. It won't get very high. You'll probably feel a lot of tension in the neck. So the head is supported, looking at your knees, and back down. Last one like this, hold. Now bring your hands forward. Imagine I'm pulling them, and then hands behind your head, lengthen all the way back down. Now here's the trick. Keep your pelvis in neutral, 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 neutral until the very last moment, and then if it imprints, that is okay. Just be aware of when it's happening, right? So as we move one part of our spine, the rest of our spine has to respond. So do this without excessive force. If you're like, oh man, I can do this, but it feels like there's a lot of tension in my back because I'm forcing my tailbone down. No, no, no. Let it move. That's okay. Stability is not the same as bracing, right? And reach and up and down. Last one. Sink the ribs. And then we curl up. Now hold just your regular chest lift. And now think about that pelvis. We're going to gently imprint and then rock it back to neutral. Hip bones, hook, sacrum, so lower abs active. Now think about pulling your hip bones toward your face and then letting them rock back. So hip bones, you're shortening the distance between your hips and your ribs, letting your lower back sink down. Think about hot lava coming at you and rock it back. If you've heard that hot lava cue a lot, maybe I'm talking to you. And back and down. Give me just a couple more. So hopefully you're feeling not just your rectus abdominis, but also your obliques starting to help you here. So we are activating our rectus abdominis and our external obliques. We're trying to get the obliques to do a little bit more. And last one. Now walk your feet away from you, neutral pelvis. Hands come forward. Imagine I'm lifting you, lifting you. Inhale, exhale, imprint and roll up. Now we are going to do a couple roll-ups. Feel free to move your legs, add a little cushion, whatever you need, okay? So we're gonna do them with bent legs today if they work for you. So roll all the way down. So imagine someone's coming up behind you and hugging you. Your hip bones are rolling, rolling, rolling like a wheel. Now hold here. Notice how your ribs are still connected. Keep them connected as your head lowers. Keep them connected down, 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 down as your hands come overhead. There's a reason for this. So if your ribs pop, they've got to be down. And in fact, I'd prefer you to keep your hands like in front of your face rather than down behind you. You'll see why soon. Now inhale, reach your hands, exhale, imprint, and roll. As you do this, feel free to press your heels down to activate your hamstrings just a little bit. Reaching it forward so your belly button is on your thighs if you can get it there. Now keep your upper body on your knees as long as possible as your hip bones roll, roll, roll like a wheel all the way down. Keep those ribs connected, hands come up just a little bit, ribs connected, lower back stays on the ground. Now inhale, exhale. Good, couple more. So think about pulling your belly button through your spine as the way to initiate the roll. Keeping everything locked and loaded. Inhale and exhale. Last one. This should feel good on your spine, not bad. And if you need to, of course, you can just use momentum, not the end of the world. At least use control on the way down. Once again, momentum is fine. Make sure you have one or both of your weights near you. We're gonna roll all the way down, bring your feet closer to you. Now, before we even use the weight, arm bones down, ribs down, lower back down. So don't just squish your spine down. Use that abdominal control to keep it there. Brush your hands overhead, opening your armpits. Don't let them fall to the ground. Keep the control. And then back. Last one. So much like when we move our legs away from us, we're using that core to stabilize the force of the range of the legs going away. We're trying to accomplish the same thing. Our core is stabilizing our arms. Now, if that feels good, grab one of your weights. Make sure you have a firm grasp. Hold the shoulder blades down because gravity is helping. Exhale, connect in with your abs. Slowly start to take your arms overhead. If you need to, palms can face the ceiling, getting that external rotation through the shoulders, and bring it back. Let's do that again. So hold everything nice and connected, still pressing your sacrum gently into the mat. Couple more. Notice how your shoulder blades move. Maybe one moves smoother than the other. No judgment, just observation. Now, if this feels good for you and you'd like to add on, bring one leg at a time to tabletop and let your knees come in for a second. Let everything kind of relax. Now think about your glutes, your hamstrings, your abs, and you let those arms go overhead, hold, and bring them back. Now, if you'd like more, press one leg away from you, pushing it away rather than down, and then in. So once again, your leg is like an arrow being shot away, away, away. Nice little laser beam happening, connecting from those ribs. Now, if you'd like, you can add on. Press, hold the arms there. Bring the leg up, little curl of the tailbone, and then the arms can come back. Press and curl. Now, if you want, of course, you can push, bring the arms back and curl. You just won't get quite as much leverage, right? So really what's happening is when the arms stay overhead, it weights away from your legs. So your legs just have the opportunity to get a little bit higher. And you can, of course, hold the weight overhead as well if it works for you and your body. If it doesn't, hey, guess what? Don't do it. And roll and press. Now, you have more options. Everybody ready? Good. You can press. Now, let those knees go to one of your shoulders. and back. Press other shoulder. So we're now getting those obliques to work a little bit harder, right? Now when the knees go, try not to just bend at the hip. Still envision curling your tailbone towards your face. Still think about like an egg being in your knee pits. You don't want to crush it or drop it, right? So egg in the knee pit, curl, egg in the knee pit. If this starts feeling bad on your neck or shoulders, drop your weight. You can always bring it back, push. We're almost there. Feel free to do whatever feels good for your body today. Last one, bring your feet down, weight down. Hands behind your head. Come into your chest lift. Now, bring your hands forward just a little bit. Lift a little higher, hold. Palms up, one hand is gonna come on top. Try to high five. Now, if you can see your fingertips, reach. So your fingertip to fingertip. And then up and over other side, then come down. Then we get to go to the side your hands are already pointing towards, okay? So just reach, lift, up and over, come down. Now, if you need support for your head, of course you can do that. It's just a little bit more choreography with your hands, okay? So if you need to, you can, of course. It's like, which one? Lift, rotate, up and over. Top hand comes behind your head. Then you just lift, rotate, up and over, get a little bit more support and down. Couple more here, boom. Keeping that pelvis nice and still and stable. We lift, reaching those fingertips away. Almost there. And now we go ahead, bring our hands behind our head, come back up into our chest lift. Bring one leg to tabletop. Now, slide that other foot away from you on the ground. Push that foot so far away from you that maybe it starts to lift. Push, 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 and down. Push, 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 down. One more. Now, think about head coming down. Push the foot away, connecting everything from the ribs. Push it away, lift the chest, and then come back down. And again, everything connects. Push the foot away, lift the chest, and come down. Almost there. Still finding that nice deep abdominal engagement. Last one. Hold, rotate towards that knee, come back, everything comes down. Push the foot away from the ribs, lift, rotate, down. Now, if you're like, that doesn't feel great for any reason, you can keep the leg down. No problem. You're still working your abs, especially if you connect in. It's just less pressure on your back. If you're like, oh, it's not my lower back that doesn't like this, it's my neck, keep your head down, push, take your opposite hand, find that nice connection through your ribs. If it's both, keep the leg down, find the connection, and back. Two more. And down. Last one, last one. And we come back to center, slide that leg in, other leg slides out. Find your chest lift first. Now, once again, it's not about up, it's about away. So think about that seatbelt connecting at your ribs. That's also where your leg is connecting in from, right? So it pushes, stabilizing from here and down. And I'm gonna reset, push, boom, and down. Yes, your hamstring can help. Yes, your inner thigh can help. Yes, your pelvic floor is lifting. Last two like this. This leg is also working, right? It's not just that hip flexor. You're trying to find that glute, that hamstring. Think about that thigh bone sinking in the socket. Guess what? We get to lower the head and then push, lift, and back down. Push the foot first, curl, 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 and then back down. Couple more, 3, 2, And now add that rotation if you want. Otherwise, you can always, always, always just use that hand, trying to find that lat serratus connection, right? Boom. Or rotate without the leg lifting. No problem. Let's do a couple more. Trying not to just let your whole shoulder blade stay down. Try just to barely tap the bottom tip of it, if any of it. We're almost there, I promise. 4 and 3. 2 more. Last 1. Come back to center, slide that leg in, hug your knees toward your chest, gently rock from side to side. Now, go ahead, bring your feet down, and we're going to allow our arms to sink down, down, down into the socket. Go ahead, let those arms come up overhead, shoulders stay down. Now, think about those armpits being buoyant as you press them forward, lifting your chest, and then lengthen all the way down. So the armpits connect, okay? And then lift and back down. Now we're gonna hold this last one, okay? Hold. Armpits stay buoyant as we inhale. 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5. If you're here, just put your head down, close the ribs. Support the weight of your hands, right? Otherwise, think about laser beams shooting from your fingertips. Boom, boom, boom. Now, if you want, of course you can be here. If you want more challenge, think about your legs, not just extending, but being a catalyst for lifting your chest because they're pushing so far away. Inhale, exhale. Now, if you want more excitement, inhale, exhale, switch. Inhale, exhale, switch your legs. Inhale, exhale, switch your legs. Almost there. Reaching through your feet, reaching through your fingertips. And last 1, hug your knees in towards your chest, rocking from side to side. Hands come behind your thighs, roll all the way up. We're coming into quadruped again. Shoulder blades draw down your back. Slide 1 foot away from you. Squeeze that glute. Think about hugging your abs up and in. Now, other toe taps down. Press, look down at the knee. Bring it down. Press into the floor, look down at the knee, and down. Couple more. So your abs should already be working because of all that work we just did. And now we get a little bit more. Now, hold, lift the foot, rotate, come back down, tap. Push, lift, rotate, back down. If that doesn't work for you, don't do it. You can always keep that foot down. You can even rotate with the foot down. It's just not gonna be as big of a move. That's okay. Lengthening, press, rotate, back, down, last 1, press, rotate, other side, right? So reconnect if you need to. Shoulder blades draw down your back and into your back pocket if you can. Tuck the toes, suction cup, hollow out through the front of your body. You're so close. Press, look down, and then down. Let's do it again, shall we? Press, lift. Now, if this is where you are, great, it's all good. If you'd like, you can then press, lift, rotate, and down, right? Or press, keep the foot down, rotate, and down. Trying not to just sink into the shoulders. 3 more. 2 more. You thought it was gonna be a trick, didn't you? Last 1, and knees down. Press yourself into a rest position. Rolling out your wrists. Go ahead, come onto your forearms. Widen through your knees just a little bit. Hug your abs up and in. Reach 1 foot away. Squeeze that glute. Now, instead of just tapping it down, you're tapping it out to the side, trying not to shift the pelvis. Now bring it back. Tap it out to the side. Bring it back. Feel where the weight is in your forearms. So hopefully it's relatively even, and then try to keep it relatively even. You have 5. Push the foot away. 4. Reaching through your ears. 2. Last 1. Hold it out. Flex the foot. Tiny little squeezes here. All right, just straight up and down. 5. 4. 3. 2. Last 1. Take it back. It's a little external rotation here, but you're in line with your sits bones. 5. Pinching your cheeks together. 4. 3. 2. 1. Other side. Slide that foot out. Squeeze to lift. Trying not to shift too much as we tap. And then squeeze it back, right? Reconnect each time. That stabilizing leg, almost think of driving the knee down and out to help that side glute kick on. We have 5, 4, 3, we're almost there. 2. Last one like this. Hold it out, flex the foot, tiny little lift and lowers. 5, 4. Try not to drop through your head. If you need to, you can support it. 3, 2. Last 1, take it behind you, keeping that external rotation. Tiny little squeezes. Think about that thigh bone, like spiraling from the glute, right? That underbutt is helping you. 5, 4, 3, almost there. Hug your abs up and in. 2, last 1, knees down, rest position. We're just gonna gently get a little bit of upper back extension. So relax through your neck and shoulders, suction cup your hands to the ground. Try to allow your tailbone to drift down towards the floor, relaxing your lumbar spine. Suction cup your hands. Think about dragging them towards you by squeezing the bottom tips of your shoulder blades together. Now start to straighten your arms. Shoulders down, and then back down. Initiate from the shoulder blades. Shoulder blades, and down. Now this might be where you are today, and that's fine. Otherwise, make sure your lower back is relaxed. Shoulder blades draw down. Hold, slide your hands behind you. Reach your fingertips away from you. Palms now face each other. Reach the fingertips away. Palms face the ground. And then you can bring your arms up overhead and back down. Let's try that again. Shoulder blades down. Brush. Fingertips all the way around. Last one. Shoulder blades come down. Fingertips. Bottom tips of the shoulder blades kind of bias towards the opposite back pocket. Palms face down. Shoulder blades draw down and around. As your hands come up, everybody relax into your rest position. Take one hand up and over and breathe. Your other hand up and over and breathe. And come back. We're gonna end with a couple shoulder rolls. So bring them up, down, and back. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you had as much fun as I did. It was great to see you. One more. Bring your shoulders up to your ears. Now just drop them down, releasing any tension. And again. Last one. Thank you so much. Have a great rest of your weekend. I hope to see you again really soon. Hi, Kara. Hi. Oh, thank you so much. Suze, you're wonderful. Yay. You guys are amazing. Oh yeah, happy Easter, you guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful rest of your day. Joelle, hi, Bree. Oh my gosh, Janet, Connor, you guys are awesome. You're all amazing, and I'm so happy to see you all the time. I think that you should all just text me every morning, and I will always have a good day. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you, thank you. Oh, yay. Oh, quarantined. I love that. I love that. I'm going to use that liberally. Do you guys have any fun plans for the rest of your weekend? Just attending foam rolling after this? You guys are wonderful. I will see you soon. Bye, bye, bye.